actually worked this time. Nothing,
Yeah?
no error. Yeah, no error this time.
Hey
Receiving
guys,
content.
I'm watching the chat window. Let's see if someone says they can see and hear us.
Yep. Well, the real trick is how well can they hear you guys? Oh, I see us pop up. I'm gonna pause that though.
Chat window. Let's see if someone says they can see and hear us.
Ah.
Someone's got reverb.
Yeah, it was me. It was me.
Okay.
I had the video playing.
Yeah, I can shut that off too.
I see. We can. Yeah, you gotta pause the video, otherwise the speakers are gonna reverb it.
Yep.
I can see and hear 5 boomers.
Yeah, you gotta pause the video.
All right, who hasn't paused the video yet?
Not doing anything with it, so it's not me.
I can see and hear 5 boomers. Boomer.
Who's
Have you not paused the actual video?
5 boomers.
Brent? You've got to pause the live stream.
Boomer. I did.
Lauren?
Not paused the
Well,
actual
pause the live stream. How?
You just hit pause.
on the video.
I did. Live stream.
Lauren?
I did. Lauren.
Pause the live stream. How? Yeah, I don't see a pause button here.
All right, gonna go fix it.
Video.
I did. Live stream. Lauren. I did.
Can't take him anywhere.
Yeah, pause the live stream. How?
Not even out of his own house.
All right.
Video.
Can't take him anywhere.
Why do you need us to pause the live stream?
Not even out of his own house. Not even out of his own
I
house.
didn't know. I didn't know on it. Thank you.
So it's
All right, my bad. My bad. I didn't realize I was running it and watching it. Sorry.
You're crossing the streams, Lauren.
Yeah, he really
The
is.
stream is good.
I was only partially joking on that, because, yeah, exactly. You're crossing the streams, Lauren.
Hey guys, how's it going over there?
I was only partially joking on that, because, yeah, exactly.
Can they hear us?
I don't know. I think so. I saw some people saying greetings. So
I think so.
Yeah, they should still be able to hear us.
all right. Then I'm going to jump in here right now and say thank you for joining us on another live stream event. We're going to take it all the way to the end of the campaign. And if you guys, hopefully you can hear everyone. We'll do real quick introductions so we can check mics and go around the table. So Talon, kick it off.
Hey guys, I'm the local tech guru. You've seen my face a lot in a lot of the video updates, and I am just the face for the Kickstarter. I also do advertising for the company as well.
John.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for this overwhelming, just unbelievable, blowing it out of the water on Kickstarter. I'm John Helfers. I'm the fiction director, and boy, do I have a lot to do after this thing is done.
Like, apparently he's going to fall asleep right here in front of us. He's so tired from working. Brett.
What up? Hey, everybody. I am Brent Evans, the Battletech line developer and senior art director. May have had something to do with all of this shenanigans.
Randall.
I'm Randall Bills. I'm the managing developer for Catalyst, and I've been involved with Battletech way longer than I care to admit. So it is awesome to be here, and this is just one of the best times I can imagine to be a Battletech fan. So fantastic. Thank you all for being here and for just killing it on this starter.
I saw that everyone was a little bit quiet still is what I'm getting at. Hey guys, am I quiet or are they quiet? Because that's a difference.
I don't know. Are we quiet?
He's asking the groups, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm Mike Stackpole, and I'll be running this meeting. Hi, I'm Lauren Coleman, owner of Chaos Game Labs, Battletech author, and overall, I guess the chief of the Flying Monkeys today. So hopefully, I'm saying Brent's a tad quiet, as is John. I think that's because Brent's using his cell phone and John's using his iPad. But
I can plug earphones. That might help with the mic. Hang on, I'll be right back.
Or just project a little bit.
Lauren, volume is 11.
Volume is
That's just me. So
I turned my
So
dive
we're
into some
going to run into a couple questions while John is playing with headphones and Brent's playing with his mini mechs. And I'm going to grab a question right off from the website. I wrote down a bunch of them today. And I'm going to start with one to Randall. There was a question about Irby's and the Legends boxes, the legendary character boxes. Will they be in Wave 1 or, not? What is our plan?
Plan absolutely is to have both of those in Wave 1. I want to scatter Urbies across the world. So yes, and then the legendary pack. I want that legendary pack just as much as everybody else. I am really hoping we could almost get Morgan Kell on his knees facing the Warhammer coming at him. So we'll see if I can pull that off or not. But yeah, definitely Wave 1.
I'm not sure why Morgan Kell's on his knees, but okay, we'll ride right past that one.
You've read the books, right? Yeah.
I might have.
Yeah, there's fiction in Battletech, Lauren.
There's this thing called fiction. You read it.
I'm going to jump real quick to one for this may be Randall or Brent, but there's a question about the 3025 3052 map being included in the current set of posters that we have promised.
Okay.
That's going to have to be you, Randall.
Meaning, is it going to be in there?
Yeah, 3052, 3025 back-to-back map.
I believe so. The current plan was to put it in the clan invasion box, but if there's lots of people really hoping to see the that in the bundle of posters that we're doing, then I have no problem doing that at all.
Okay. Also, I want to point out something. We've mentioned this on the updates and stuff, but I want to go ahead and mention it here that we discovered as we started to figure out Wave 1 versus Wave 2 that there's no way to finish a Mech recognition poster in a Wave 1 shipping, which would then break up our posters and force a lot of people to require a Wave 2 shipping just for a poster, and that's just silly. So what we're going to do is that probably maybe with this 3025 3052 map, we're going to commission a 4th poster. Use that in the 3 poster bundle that everyone can get in Wave 1. We will bump Mech Recognition to Wave 2 and have it available for you guys downstream as a probably a non, since we're doing 3 exclusive posters, we'll bump that one probably to a non-exclusive status so that you can get it either in a Wave 2 if you're getting a Wave 2 or at a convention in a future website order. That way everyone has a shot at it, but it won't screw up the Wave shipping. So we'll be making a few changes like that only when it makes sense to help you guys out. And I'll go to the website for our first question. Can you show us the metal Warhammer prototype? No. That's still, that's right. We have a piece of art and that's it so far.
Well, if he means metal, I'm assuming he means the prototype, the statue from Iron Metals. And yeah, no, we don't have that. But yeah, the second we have a prototype, we'll take some really great pictures and we'll show with all of you guys.
Here's a fun one for John, who's now taking a sip of water. You ready now?
Yep.
Yes, I can hear you. Question: can I get a Weird Tales section in the $2 Million magazine? I have so many nutty ideas I want to publish, but obviously they want to do a non-canon fiction, like Battletech meets Aliens, I guess, or something like that.
Hey, I love a Battletech meets Cthulhu.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Exactly. Gonna take that under advisement, but I can't make any promises.
Well, just to follow up on that, John, we actually did something very similar to that in the Interstellar Players books, where we allowed ourselves to play with some pretty nutty stuff, some of which, like Interstellar Expeditions, ultimately became canon, and a lot of it, like my utterly insane Gene cast, is taken out and back and buried in a deep hole. So we've already kind of played in that, and I would be all for exploring that type of thing.
Well, Randall's on board, so there's one. So there you go. And I'm not against it either. It depends on the parameters which we set up for it.
Sure, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a neat idea. I wouldn't want to focus on that too much, but having an alternate history, strange tales section, that could be fun. As long as people are enjoying it and we're not, refocusing the magazine on that, just as a one-off here and there, I think that could be a good time.
So yeah, obviously we're open to the idea.
Yeah. Looking for we had a lot of chat in here, a lot of chatter. So guys, if you can keep some of the chatter just to keep it down a little bit, so I can find more questions. Are we getting the Natasha Krinsky body pillow? Not at this time, Jason. I'm just gonna answer that one and move on.
It's just a pillowcase.
All right. Randall, Irby plushie price and delivery question. I'll handle the price. We don't know because we still need to get to a factory, figure out what the cost is going to be, how big it will be, those kind of questions. But Irby plushie delivery, you want to throw some info at that?
I am hoping we can make that in wave 1, but that's really going to or make it available for you guys to be grabbing it as wave 1 is going out. But again, that's really going to depend on how the production goes. If we find a company and they're killing it and we're able to move quickly, then it's going to move quickly. If it takes us a little bit of time, like it did for the neoprene mats, that was kind of a difficult process. And while we ultimately got fantastic mats, it was pretty difficult to get to the finish line. So if it takes that, then it's going to be longer. But we want to make sure that plushie is awesome. So,
okay, Brent, if I get 10 Lance packs as part of a Star Kernel pledge and get 10 salvage boxes, will they be 10 different Omnis, 10 of the same, or a total crapshoot?
Total crapshoot. 10 random pulls. At least that's what my boss told me when he originally envisioned it.
It is, in fact, a total crapshoot.
By the way, because I know you love it, Brent, David Baker throws in some love. Love that Executioner sculpt so much. I know you're a fan of that one.
Yeah, he did a good job of killing me when I was piloting it at Masters of Minions.
That who got you? Okay.
So I see there's a question there from Toolish about MechWarrior Destiny book. When does it due out? And will we be able to provide feedback with the closed beta? I am hoping by the end of this month. It may bleed into September. Definitely you'll have it in your hands in September, and absolutely that's the whole purpose of a closed beta. Anyone that wants to be involved is going to have a couple of weeks to be able to put it on their table, beat up on it, and then provide us feedback, and we'll review and fold in what's appropriate. So,
absolutely.
Hey, Brent, just letting you know, you gotta speak up a little bit, or at least speak towards your mic. People are saying you're still a little quieter than the rest.
Hey, okay. I got one here, actually from outside the chat, but it's an important one. No one in Canada has received their Shadowrun Kickstarter games. That's actually a good one to announce here for those, because that actually is an ongoing problem. We are wanting to address that. So I will address the Shadowrun Kickstarter really briefly, guys, because this is more about Battletech, but it's still an important part of Catalyst Game Labs. We got some bad info on Canada, and we have been remailing them out. So if you're a Canadian backer or an American backer waiting for your Shadowrun Kickstarter pledge fulfillment, I know some Canadians have now gotten their legendary box, but definitely not all. So we are back to making sure those are going out, and I have someone working them, and he is solving these one person at a time, but they are getting out now. So as far as the other Shadowrun stuff goes, we are going to go on in there and do a Shadowrun Q&A and other Shadowrun issues coming up in their Kickstarter, in their streaming video or message board. So please let me go ahead and answer Battletech stuff first. But no, we have not forgotten Sprawl Ops, and it is still high on our list. So now that we have extra time, we'll be doing both of these moving forward. So I just want to make sure I got that out there. Question about shipping, APO and FPO addresses. I don't know if those actually work like the Hawaii and Alaska shipping options. I will ask Quartermaster. I know, of course, we will do whatever we need to support the military people who are backing us and will be out of the country to receive their rewards. So I don't have a direct answer as like how fast or how much, but I will find out for you. We'll make sure that you guys are taken care of. So, and as always, thank you for your service. Anyone who's still active military out there, we appreciate what you're doing for us right now. And everyone that was active military, veterans, we appreciate you guys too. So, and there's a lot of you guys in Battletech. So, and a couple of them here sitting in the room with us. So, yeah, we will take care of that. What other questions we got out there?
Yeah, I saw from James McDonald asking about where we got the larger challenge coins. Absolutely, that got unlocked. So Norse Foundry is going to be increasing the size of the challenge coins to 1.5 inches. Thanks for everybody that clicked on through that to take a look at what they're doing. And then somebody else asked about the sizes of the posters. Currently, I am looking at 21 inch by 30 inches. Nice and good sized posters.
Cool. Will you please make a player database? I assume that may be in reference to the characters, and that is our plan. If you're looking for a player database, you can find local players to play against. There is a couple things like that I believe I know being worked on, kind of like a third party, that we will, once we see one that we like, we will support it or find other ways to do it. So I'm not sure if that involves characters or local players, but it's a good question either way. We will create a character database, and if we could find a good player database system, we would definitely support one. Will you delineate what is Wave 1 versus Wave 2? Randall.
So for the, let me, going through my giant ridiculous spreadsheet here. We can't delineate everything because some of it is just a little bit up in the air. So far as the Lance packs, we are going to get, obviously, the Clan Invasion box set. We are guaranteed to get the Clan Command Star, the Inner Sphere Command Lance, and the Heavy Striker Star in the first wave. And then there are still two more, the Inner Sphere Battle Lance and the Clan Fire Star, that I feel pretty good about getting. Anything beyond that, I want to wait about a month or so until we see how far along in the process they are to see how well we're keeping up on that and whether we were actually able to go beyond that and get more for you guys.
And when we know something is definitely not going to be, if we can't guarantee it's Wave 1, we will let you know. So that way, if you're trying, for those of you who are trying to get a Wave 1 single shipment, we will make that easier for you. If we cannot really guarantee it, it'll be a question or a Wave 2 for sure. So we'll make sure you see that.
I see another question here. Jim Dowell is asking, will the premium record sheets simply be full-sized, simplified sheets like the beginner box, or full-blown record sheets? They will absolutely be full-blown Battletech record sheets, just wonderfully awesome, full-color, laminated, the full meal deal. So
cool.
I got another question here. What is the difference between the $10 and $15 decks? I'm assuming they're talking about the MechWarrior decks.
Charging battery.
Yeah. So
shut up. Shut up.
That was too straight line.
So there was some confusion. We attempted to clarify that, and we apologize up front that we did in fact introduce some confusion there. The difference is that the $10 decks are the MechWarrior cards like what they appear in a Game of Armored Combat or the beginner box. They are then not the premium MechWarrior cards. The premium MechWarrior card is standard on the back, but then on the front has the full-blown awesome sauce illustration that Brent is going to be putting together. And then two of the decks we kind of upgraded to premium. So Lauren and I have to duke it out to see, do we rotate those back down? Because that's what we told you guys we're going to do. Are you guys going to be okay with them being premium? Or maybe we just insert two more decks because, there's a lot of canon characters that we got to get out there. So we'll get that figured out in the next couple of days. And as soon as we do, we'll let everybody know.
Ed wants to know, if you double pledge Galaxy and Rystar, is the two Urbies and two legendaries or just one of each? If you truly double pledge with, I believe it's non-Comstar pledging, you will get an Urbie and legendary for each pledge level. Comstar, if you pledge more than, I believe, $20, you will also get one. But Comstar, I believe we said in the updates, will not combine with other double pledges. Because, of course, one of the first things someone asked was, oh, you mean I could just like add, 20 Comstar $1 pledges and get 20 more minis? No. So Ed, you are correct in the way that would work, and that will work pretty much with any double pledge except Comstar. Again, Comstar, if you're over $20, you will get, though, your free Irby and your free Legend.
So I got another one, Lauren.
Go.
It's actually a pretty good one. I'm trying to keep ahead of you guys since I know you're on the back end.
Oh, please.
It's a really good one. Any thoughts of letting us buy a photo for a custom character?
Buy a photo?
Buy a photo?
I assume it was like why you like WLDWABYT. You might have to clarify this, but are you asking about? I think he's potentially asking out. Can they buy a photo of the picture that is drawn afterwards when we're done with it? Essentially, when we canonize them.
I believe, and Brent, check me if I'm wrong, but won't we send them a copy of their character art for free, a digital copy?
That is a very good question, and for those of you Shadowrun fans, you'll love to hear this. Yes, I will happily out to the email requesting for your pledge the file, the full resolution file of that to all of those backers who paid for having their character art done. Now, for the Shadowrunners, the reason why that's important is because they actually haven't received theirs yet. I will be sending those out next week, actually.
Cool.
So Shadowrunners will get their Sprawl Ops ones. All of the Shadowrunners will get their Sprawl Ops ones next week. And yes, all the Battletech ones will ultimately get the electronic files full resolution for free.
Randall or Brent, Straw Boss wants to know how our clan blood name is going to be handled. Will the canon list be enforced, or will new blood names be added for canon characters?
We do not have plans to change the canon list of blood name characters.
So if you want to be a clan character, you're going to have to adopt either be freeborn and or adopt a blood name house to get yourself in there. So otherwise, Inner Sphere all the way, baby.
Pick your name.
I see Morgan versus Yorinaga. I don't think that was a question, maybe just a statement out there, but
that was the archer I was referring to earlier.
Battery.
Oh, because I'd have to say Yorinaga,
Charge
just because
Yorinaga, yeah, absolutely.
If you're asking us to pick, I'm picking Yorinaga, even though I know he's going to commit seppuku. Also, because he got to commit seppuku.
Spoilers.
Is it me, or does Carlisle look like Owen Wilson? That's from Robert Reed.
You're ultimately going to have to bring up that question with Ray Arastia.
Yeah, I know.
The artist on it.
Yeah, I know exactly who that's supposed to look like. So we'll save that for later. By the way, we just hit 11,000 backers.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's super cool.
Once again,
Jim Moreland wants to know, are you going to start promoting competitive play?
Brent, move it over towards your face. There you go. There, no, too far. There you go. Right in front of you. Brent, stop.
John.
Yep.
We don't care.
That's the
connect that you didn't pick, Lauren, so everybody cares but you.
Well, it was more John talking over everyone as we're trying to answer questions.
Yes.
Okay.
That is a really good question. Unfortunately, it's way beyond the scope of an easy answer. We are starting to look into that. We'd love to explore that further, but it's just way too early to give any more definitive answer than that.
Okay. John, this is maybe more of a note for you as well as a question, but Amonton Briggs wants to know, can you post, publish, develop an ideal reading list or way to get caught up in the story history of Battletech in preparation for Ill-Clan with currently available literature, source books, etc.?
I can speak to that, actually. Excuse me. For source books, I'm going to punt to Brent. However, on the fiction side, yeah, we are adding more fiction on that coming up, and I just got the wraparound file, which I'm sure is going to look great. We're putting up the POD edition of Bonfire of Worlds, Steve Mohan's novel, which is set right after the Dark Age. And also, except for those who are on Battlecore, the next release in Battletech is going to be Redemption Rift by Jason Schmetzer, which has to do with the rebuilding of the Dragoons and is a terrific, terrific book, also set in that era. That is a good point. I will coordinate with Brent and we'll get try to post some sort of a list of recommended reading for entering into this brave new era. That's a great point. Thank you very much for bringing it up.
Yeah.
To be honest, I could see a recommended reading list that we put together for every era, because I think we have a lot of new people coming in. We have a lot returning after decades gone. I think there's some great reading lists for all of that we'll put together.
Agreed.
I've got a couple of Pledge Manager questions I'm going to deal with real quick. Will all new products be in the Pledge Manager? No, though a lot of it will. A lot of the new and most of the what we'd call core product will be available. You've already seen a lot of it already come online on the add-on list. So that's just that's not everything we're going to do, but it's a good chunk of it. And then we couldn't add it all and all the new. That'd be just at some point I think Quartermaster would jump to the screen and kill me. But we will try to get as much in there as we can fit in a reasonable amount of space. Second question, will con exclusives show up in the Pledge Manager? Things like the metal Battletech dice and other items that we have shown at conventions recently. Some of them will, yes. Not all of them. Some of that will be dependent upon what we have available or what we can get done. And also, again, back to how much do I really want to hurt Quartermaster with all these different SKUs. But I really want to allow the metal dice in that awesome diameter case. It's all laser engraved because they're just as beautiful sets of Biotech dice. So those ones I'm hoping to get in there, and a few other ones I will get in if they make sense and if we have the room in the list. So those are the two I want to get out there. Regarding Chris, I'm sorry, it's right. Chris, I'm going to say Dewey. Regarding the legendary characters, is it just the mechs or will they include the pilot? Randall,
They will absolutely have pilot cards. That would be a crime to not include pilot cards.
Randall, how are we going to include a pilot card in one of the individual legend boxes?
We'll figure it out.
Okay. Very small.
They'll be really tiny cards. No, we'll figure it out.
We'll just fold them. What could be wrong?
They have to be in there, so we'll make it work.
All right.
I saw Straw Boss asks, will the new tactical handbooks follow the spine artwork scheme? I assume he's referring to the tactical operations 2 books, and absolutely they will follow the same spine scheme that we did for.
So they can replace it. So they could replace the TAC Ops book on their shelf and it would not throw out the picture?
No. It's a whole new spine scheme. All the vintage covers.
The vintage covers have a new spine scheme. Okay.
Have the original 30-50 art from Jim Nelson on the spine.
For those who did not know, we have the spine of our core rule books have always had a mosaic piece of art across them. And it's always been kind of fun to put them on the shelf and then, see that. So, yeah.
Sorry. Oog Plus asked, will the Urban Mech plushie include a pilot card?
Oh, my God.
You know what? Let me get back to you on that one.
Now I want to do it just because it's fun.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's so much fun. We'll have to figure out how we might be able to do that.
I think Urban Mech plushie body pillow.
No, the Urban Mech body pillow. Vulcan Raptor, will the initiative deck become part of the core rules? I think I can safely say no, but I'll let Randall or Brent back me up on that one.
No. Hopefully there will be a very fun, cool thing to use, but no, they will not be part of the core rules.
Yeah, it's just an idea I threw to the team, and they liked it, so we'll be developing a way to take the initiative system and not only regiment it a little bit better, but also have some fun with it. So if you feel like you're always losing initiative, we're going to give you some things to do then that maybe will make up for it. So it's in my head. I think I know what we're going to do with it, but just it will be more of an add-on for fun games, for friendly games.
So I have seen probably 7 or 8 aerospace fighter vehicle questions coming on by. And No, we are not doing that as part of this Kickstarter. There is already, you guys have unlocked a fantastic yet terrifying amount of miniatures. And we have a lot of work in front of us. In a certain time that I'm not even going to mention a time frame. This has been so fantastic and so much fun, and you guys have been so amazing. Once you've got all this material on your tables and you're having a blast tossing dice and blowing crap up, I'm confident we will return with future Kickstarters. And then the sky's the limit. Who knows what we'll do? But for right now, you know, we've got almost 100 minis that we need to get out the door. Let us get that first before we come back to future stuff.
Sorry. Andrew Tate, will merchant pledges be able to buy Kickstarter exclusives like the legendary Mech Warriors? Yes. That is the benefit for being a merchant backer in a Kickstarter, in my opinion. We appreciate this. We know merchants are a huge part of what we do, especially game stores are a huge part of what we do. And if you were willing to back us, we are going to support you. So any of the exclusives will be available for you as well, because that way you can help support to people who may not be able to back us, but you're still part of this team, part of this campaign. So absolutely. And I think there was another question about that here that I can mark off, so I will do that. And then Hawkslayer, will we be able to add custom record sheets in the new app? Randall, do you know enough about that to answer that one?
Possibly. We had a demo, a very rough build of that app, and we had it at Gen Con, and we got some great feedback. We are kind of rebuilding some of what we had planned on doing because, again, you guys had the ones that interacted with us and with that app at Gen Con had some fantastic ideas. Exactly what is going to be there and everything that you can do with it is still a little up in the air. Once again, though, once we have locked it down a little better, we're going to be telling you guys about it. And even better, we'll be, asking you guys to come forward and hopefully, be banging on the app in a beta to make it as good as we can. So,
yeah, as soon as we saw the demo at Gen Con, we were pulling the developer aside and saying, okay, now what can we tweak? And as all of you who know who've played this game and tried to customize your mechs, there's levels of tweaking and then there's levels of tweaking. So yeah, we definitely want to explore the possibilities, but in a way that doesn't break anything. So
John Hayes asked, hey, Brent, sunglasses? I don't know, John. It's just artists. What can you do?
Well, it looks like the sun is actually straight in his face right now. So
yeah,
it is.
So I
hung something up because I got the same thing off to my side
right now, trying to keep.
That's why you guys need to be down in hobbit holes and basements. It's way better.
Yeah, my office is straight up staring at the sun right now.
The worst part is I am in a basement right now, and the sun is still making it into my face.
So I saw two questions. One was, will the Chaos Campaign Battle of Tukid PDF have Alpha Strike support? Absolutely, it will. I also saw somebody wanting a Yenlo Wong Kyalard legendary Mech Warrior pilot card.
That's me too.
And one, I want to see that, and two, I want the backside to be, you just put it on the board and win. So
I thought is who gets Yenlo Wang? Does Kai get it or does Justin get it?
Yeah, see, there's lots to fight there, and suddenly I have the mental scene with Kay and Kay in jail going through my head again.
Well, yes. The truth is, there's all of that. For me, it's the logistics of the fact that we haven't. Anthony hasn't designed that mech yet. I would be all about promising it if I knew it already gone through the quality control thing of us going through the design process. But that particular mech is down the list a bit.
Someone asked, will we have women's shirt sizes in for the campaign? Yes, we will.
Once the Kickstarter ends, how long do you have to make your final decision on what backer level / additions you want to go with?
You're going to have some time. Now, let me be very clear. The Pledge Manager is not going to open tomorrow, and probably not even for this coming week. Crowdox and Quartermaster and Catalyst all have to get together and go through the list of items and then go through it again and probably go through it again to make sure everything is exactly perfect before we open that up. Because if we open that up and there's problems, it's just going to cause more issues. So it may take a couple weeks, but once it opens, you're going to have at least 60 days and probably closer to 90 or even 120, because our first delivery isn't until March, which means you've got plenty of time to clean things up, look at what you want, make sure you know what wave you want it in, or how many waves you want to get stuff in. If you only want wave one or if you want to get both waves, you'll have plenty of time. So just be patient on the Pledge Manager, but once it does open, 2-3 months easy.
Do we have a preview for the Kickstarter exclusive box cover?
No, but the artist that did both the beginner box cover, the Battlemech manual cover, the A Game of Armored Combat cover, MechWarrior Destiny cover, who's Marco Mazzoni. He has gladly accepted that and is off and running. So I cannot wait to see what he turns in.
Yeah, me too. I've got 2 questions about Drive-Thru RPG. Why are House Deviant and House Lao missing from Drive-Thru RPG PDFs? I have no idea, but I'll look into it. And also about Drive-Thru RPG POD print books. We have a lot of them available, but definitely not all of them. And we are talking to Drive-Thru about getting more of those uploaded once we get through a couple other pressing things with Drive-Thru. So they are talking to us, and we love their website.
So to be clear, just to put a little context on that,
good.
Because of the way the process works, you can't just hand them a old scanned file or one of our new files. You practically have to relay it out for POD, and that's why it just takes some time to get there. So absolutely, we want to go. We have a massive catalog, obviously. And we want to make those available again for those that have lost them, or they got destroyed, or is just coming back after they went missing. It's great to have that physical copy, and we want to make that available. It just takes some time to work through it.
Admittedly, our layout team has been just full speed trying to get everything done for the Kickstarter and keep all the graphics flowing. So, they've had their hands full at the moment.
Brent, will vehicles, power armor, and infantry also be reimagined? Basically, I think is what this person's asking me.
Yes, everything that we release will be reimagined.
Eventually.
Yes, it's just a matter of prioritizing which ones go first. Yeah,
there's only been like a bare handful of TROs that have been released. A couple of dozen mechs, so we should be able to get through it really quick, right?
For what it's worth, I want to touch base real quick on Randall's previous answer. I double-checked when he said it. Marco Mazzoni actually has not accepted the assignment. It was Kat Wilder who accepted the assignment.
Oh, sorry. No, my bad.
We haven't. The assignment has been offered to Marco. He is yet to accept or decline because he's looking at his production schedule right now, I'm sure. Because he's one of the artists over at Harebrained Schemes for their Battletech game. So I know we've all got a lot of things we're balancing around. Just know it is coming. It has been offered, and if not, one of the other guys in the crew will do it. We've got a fantastic crew of artists working on Battletech. So
Randall, I believe. Andrew asks, will the minis be the same color, or will some be different colors like the ones Brent is showing?
No, they will all be the exact same color that is found in the beginner box in the Game of Armored Combat. Brent is currently showing off various 3D printed rapid prototypes, which is depending on which company they came from and which machine they used, is why the colors are different. But they will match right along with the 2 previous box sets.
And following up on that, when will more info come out about the MechWarrior Destiny beta?
As I mentioned earlier, that we hope to have that out by the end of August, and if it kind of slips, then it will definitively be in September.
Something
John.
else? Nope.
Oh, go ahead, Talon.
Pretty easy one. Will the Pledge Manager be reopened between Waves 1 and Waves 2?
I have been told that we can do that, and so I want to, because I figure by then, 6-8 months down the road, you guys may want to add some new stuff. You may decide you want to jump into Wave 2 when you didn't before. I will make that happen as long as it will not break the system. So that is our goal. John, I have questions. A couple questions here. I'm going to kind of put them together. How many canon characters are there now, and how do you plan to get them all out?
Well, like I said before, the honored roll of the dead. No, totally kidding. What have we hit so far, Randall? It's over 2,000, right?
It's getting close to 3, I believe.
I believe it's getting close to 3. So actually, I'm going to override John here just because we've talked about it. So it's literally just going to be a giant spreadsheet, like a Google sheet, and it'll have all the details of all the characters in there, and all of the authors are going to have access to that. And for example, when I'm writing, I've got lots of writing to do as well. I literally plan to have that open on my second monitor, and when a name comes up, I look over at the list, find the appropriate faction if I can, get the names, put it in, and immediately highlight it, and then have the final cell. Randall just used it and he placed it in Xbook. And so we'll just start knocking it out. But it is going to take some time. There is a lot of names. So please do not expect all the names to show up tomorrow.
Unless you want us to kill you all.
Underestimated demand for named characters and canon art. Though a lot of you have asked, can we basically recycle? Can we turn these back into you guys in exchange for something else? We're not doing a lot of substitutions. We're not going to allow a lot of substitutions. We will allow it where it makes sense, especially where it's going to basically cause you guys to have multiple waves when you shouldn't have to, or other issues like the battle mats, because they are not postage friendly. So when it makes sense, we'll do that. For the characters that you got as part of your pledge, if that is not a big draw for you, yes, my intention is to have a bounty on reclaiming those, only because that will make our art department and fiction department a little less frantic about how they're going to fit 3,000 characters. Now they're only going to fit in 2,995. But so I want to just add that one on there. And then one more part about characters, because there were a bunch of questions. Will we allow character bundles, meaning can you and your wife, you and your child, you and your 5 buddies all jump into a single kind of a group effort, like a Merc unit? Or I've had people asking, like, hey, can we be a minor noble family on some planet or whatever? Those are awesome. I think those are great ideas, and we are going to support that because it helps us get more characters out faster and gives you guys a chance to promote maybe a personal Merc unit or a storyline you've been doing in your role-playing game. So yeah, we're going to try to allow that, and we will add some more clarifying remarks on how you should request that in the spreadsheet going forward. So
I have a couple of final words on that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, me too. Go for it, Sean.
No, go, Brett. Go ahead. I'll weigh in after you.
By all means, I know that the minor noble thing has been a big deal for folks along the way. If that's your brand of cool, that's totally fine. We're happy to support that, but don't tell us which planet. If everyone wants to be, we're a minor normal family on the planet that everyone knows and has been documented for 35 years, we're going to have a hard time finding a way to shoehorn you in. But
as always, you can list a preference, but please realize we're going to put you where it will fit and not violate continuity if you've already got something there.
Yeah, we're not breaking.
So some more follow-up for the characters. David Baker asks, following up on characters, any chance of Star Colonels being able to add art to their characters?
Yes, there will be an option for that in the Pledge Manager.
All right, super quick so we can move on. I just want to go on record.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
I'll talk to the fans. Oh, yeah. As I talked to Lauren about this exact situation happening, he's like, oh, we'll deal with it. That said, everybody, you guys just totally blew us away with your responses on the characters. And yes, we will get every single one out. But seconding what Lauren said, it will take some time. Be patient. But yes, they will all appear somewhere. And by the way, we are including source books. It's not just the fiction as well. So people may appear in source books too. That will help us distribute the load. We will get you to all of you, absolutely.
Source books, board games, card decks, fiction. Yep. It's all going to be up for possibilities.
Exactly.
Randall, White Wolf wants to know, any chance at 28 millimeter scale mechs at some point for us collectors? Or Brent or whoever else can answer that one. I can't.
Sure, there's always a possibility. In fact, for the start of the Kickstarter, we were hoping to have larger scale minis available as you know, in a variety, or at least in a selection of different scales. But there's just so many moving parts that didn't happen. So I can't give a definitive, but that is absolutely something we want to explore and see where that takes us.
Brent, did you make all the models from the old clan picks from the Tech Readout 3050? That's from Robert Warren.
I'll admit I'm not quite sure I understand the question.
Did you make all? I assume you saw what the new models we're doing. Did you make all the models from the old clan picks from the Tech Readout 3050? Thought you might want to do just like a quick 30 seconds on how are we reimagining and resculpting these. I would think would answer the question.
Well, I'm also wondering if he's asking about art. So when we did the 3050 upgrade, Brent did all of the art in that. That may be what he's asking. So yes, that absolutely.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, when it came to me moving over from Jordan Weissman's Mech Click stuff over to the Battletech game itself, the 3050 upgrade was my first project, and I did all the Intersphere art for that. With regard to redesigning the current batch, we picked the items that would be done. We turned them over to Anthony Scroggins, who we specifically tapped to lead that charge. And then it was the three of us, the magic lightning in a bottle of Randall, Ray, and Brent, who'd never agree on anything. So when the three of us did the reviews, and we would bash out the edits on those designs with Anthony, and that's ultimately how the new look and feel of the designs came about. I don't think there was any sketch that Anthony went through that didn't get tweaked. But it was amazing how the three of us all have our fingers on different sections within the fan base. And so once we could get all three of us to agree, that's how we all knew that the design was good. Because if all three of us agreed, then we had a winner.
Do you plan on selling minis? Sorry, Delmar Clark, do you plan on selling the minis separate in the future, or will they stay as mech packs? I can see a future where we have Battletech minis, plastic minis singly, as well as the Iron, like Ironwood Metals does the metal ones. At this point in time, they are in mech packs and will be for the foreseeable future, unless Randall has a nefarious plot I'm not aware of.
No, there's no short-term plan, but who knows long-term.
I would like to, but that may be we broke up plastics into 3 phases. We are now solidly into what I'm going to call phase 2 of us learning how to better do plastics, plastic production, plastic delivery, plastic modeling, all things plastic. There is a phase 3 way down the road out in front of us, which might include even crazier, better quality as well, but that would necessitate better, more single mech design, single mech sales. But guys, we are just now feeling solidly good about our plastic production. Give us some time. We'll get there.
Yeah, a big part of this, just for those of you that don't know, is that, when Catalyst made a huge commitment to overhauling the Battletech line, and one of the first things we did was went out to the brick and mortar stores and asked them specifically how they would like us to change the delivery that we do for Battletech. So you notice how significantly different our current box sets are with miniatures in them compared to the previous generation's box sets. And that was all based on feedback where the retailer said, we want you to break this up into smaller bits. Give us a true beginner product that is, geared for someone straight out of a demo. And so a lot of our design of these products specifically geared to make sure that the Battletech product line does well on store shelves and reinforces getting fans into stores to buy stuff.
Shadow Wolf wants to know, where can I get that Battlemaster T-shirt? I should have seen that coming when he showed up in the... That's actually one we did for a convention. I don't know how many years ago.
It's a number of years ago.
Long time ago.
We should do a new one with the new design of the Battlemaster.
Though, I mean, it's still a darn good shirt, and all I can tell you is now that I've seen Brent wearing it again, yeah, it's been a while since I've had mine. Wore out a long time ago, so I may need to recommission that one and get it out there again on the website at least. But I would say not for a while. I would say not for a while.
So
was that Brent?
We have the art.
Oh yeah, no, we do. We still are finishing up all the athletic shirts like Randall's wearing there, and we just got through doing our first sub-dye shirt like the one I've got. So there is no end. In fact, someone asked me earlier today, have we ever considered a Battletech T-Shirt of the Month club? We just give you guys 30 shirts.
I love this
access
idea.
to 30 shirts. We'll get to more, I promise you.
So with regards to the canon characters, what is the time limit? What is the timeline limits? Can we use any timeline, or are we mainly restricted to 3025 to 3050-ish?
Oh God, the whole timeline has to be open.
Anything you want. You want to go back to Age of War? By all means.
Yeah, definitely.
Get there.
In fact, the hardest time to get into is the 3025 to 3050 because that's been so well documented.
Yeah. David Baker asked, anybody else just see that subliminal message? Did somebody flash something up on the screen I'm not aware of, Talon?
Not as far as I
That
know.
may have been my expression when I had an aneurysm over the opening of the entire timeline.
Okay. But no,
nothing you're worried about, Lauren, as usual.
Just wondering. No, I'm not, your health is like so far down the list of my concerns.
Can we get an Urban Mech T-shirt?
What's that?
I think we have.
I've seen.
I want an Urban Mech blueprint shirt.
There are several comments now about, are we going to do other plushies? They want a Timberwolf plushie. They want a.
That's our next Kickstarter. Our next Kickstarter, all plushy battle mechs. All right, you guys called it. We're good.
Let's get the Irby plushie out the door, and if it wasn't too incredibly difficult, then I could absolutely see unlocking the door to future plushies.
A Mad
we can
Kitty
have so much
plushie.
fun with that as a giant demo at the convention, where when someone fights each other, they just grab the plushie and beat the other player with it. That could be awesome.
Randall, will the Urban Mech miniature, this is actually serious, will the Urban Mech miniature have a pilot and or Alpha Strike card?
I had initially planned on it, but there's been so many requests for it that, similar to the legendary salvage boxes, we will figure out how to make that happen. I think the Irby just has to have a pilot card and an Alpha Strike card.
Okay.
Why do I think that pilot card won't be very complimentary?
That'd be awesome.
The current website graphic for Galaxy Commander pledge level shows 18 Lance packs plus the box set. Description says 85 mechs, which is correct.
I would trust the graphic over the number. We tried putting the number in there just as a good litmus test, but unfortunately the graphic, depending on what you choose, can change. So I would definitely trust the graphic over the number.
My master list with Quartermaster right now, checked a couple times, does show 18 mechs, or 18 packs. The problem is 18 packs can range between 72 and effectively 104, roughly, because we don't know if you're picking 4 mech packs, 5 mech packs, 6 mech packs. So, figure 18 mech packs is what you're getting. How the numbers add up are really up to what you pick. Let's see here. I have a question here from off the chat saying there's been a problem with emails to store.catalystgamelabs.com with no responses coming in. Talon, you may want to answer this as well, but to my knowledge, we thought all emails were getting through. Now we're hearing maybe they're not. And we've got some actual tests out there from people that we know sent 3 emails, and only one of them got through. We're not sure what might be causing that issue.
So part of that is it depends on who you're asking, Lauren, in the system. If they send in an email 3 times, they generate only 1 thread, because our system marks them all as one person still, because you're not.
I was being told that someone sent 3 emails, and our customer service people could only see 1 entry, like they only saw 1 of them come through. So all I know is that I'm concerned about it, and we are going to be looking into that system to make sure we're not losing emails, because We don't know. We don't see. We don't know what we don't see.
Once the Kickstarter ends, I can finally go work on other stuff.
Yeah, here I'll get some time back after this, which will help us a lot. So we're not ignoring you. We've got 2 people now in customer service to try to get through all the different email questions from different categories. We're getting to them as fast as we can. If we're missing stuff, I will look into that. What was already that one was asked and answered.
So with the success
of the credit for the Strand-of-Mechty neoprene mat, and does the Strand-of-Mechty mat count towards the 4 neoprenes for the free mat /tube? If you take for those who didn't know, we will be offering we're planning to offer a credit. So if you want to give back your battle mat because it's just not postage friendly, we'll help you do that. And the credit will be $30, which is the current retail price of the different neoprene mats. But if you are keeping the battle mat, does it count toward the 4 neoprenes for your free stuff? Yes. Otherwise, some of you wouldn't be able to get enough to get a free item because you've been purchasing everything and getting everything as we've done it, and I'm not going to punish you for having everything. So it will count.
So I see a couple of ones in here. One from another Randall. Woohoo! Randall Case asking, will Bill Keith be writing stuff for Battletech? He actually put a short story in the beginner box, a short story in a Game of Armored Combat.
If we get a fiction editor online who could answer some of these questions about fiction.
Yeah, Randall, talk about stealing thunder.
We're stepping right over me there. He's not
jumping in, man.
Yeah, he's just sitting there being quiet.
Yeah, I had such a chance, Randall. Yeah. Credit card couldn't fit in that space. So look, what Randall doesn't know and cannot tell you is that discussions are ongoing with Mr. Keith to write a longer form Battletech story. So it's very early stages, but he has expressed interest. I am talking with him. I've worked with Bill for going on 15 years now. He's a great guy. We definitely want to do some new fiction. He's open to the idea. Discussions are ongoing. As I'm going to cite what Talon said, once the Kickstarter is over, we'll be able to reclaim some time and get that moving again. But we're all very excited about it. And I expect to hopefully have a formal announcement shortly about how that's going to go down.
Hey, John, can you chime in and add in the sentence that we cut off from Randall of telling everyone where the 3rd installment of that story that he wrote across the beginner box and Game of Armored Combat is going to fall?
That's Carlisle's Commando's source book?
No, it's
no?
MechWarrior Destiny.
Was that where that's going? Okay.
Good thing we have the fiction editor on hand.
Yeah.
I don't do source books, man.
Is it really? Even I didn't.
Baron Fell 101. What will be on the back of the challenge coins? Brent.
I don't think Brent knows.
Lauren's home number.
Lauren's home number.
We are looking at putting mechs, or in a few unique instances, changing to something else. So, for example, Hell's Horses, of course, it would be a vehicle. Clan Snow Raven, of course, it would be an aerospace fighter. One of my favorites that the Clan Council kind of helped us. Actually, Lauren came up with the idea, and the Clan Council was all over it. Is that it's Diamond Sharks on one side and Sea Fox on the other. Now, that is the current plan. That doesn't mean that is going to, survive contact with the enemy. I'm exchanging emails with Drew about that literally today, about how to do that, and he's going to be mocking up the backs. But regardless of what is on there, it absolutely will be a double-sided. On the backside will have something cool on it. We're just not exactly sure what it will be yet.
So here's one for Brent then. So
yes.
I think Ghost Bird of Prey. I think I heard combat bands were back on the table. Any idea of a timeline for reviving those, and in what order?
We don't know what timeline. We're not sure if they will even be quite the same content format, because the first 2 followed the same formula. We may change up the formula a bit on those. The next one will be Davian, though. And then, of course, anything that happens after Davian's unimportant because it's after Davian. But yeah, that's Davian will be the next one. We do have the order set out, and yes, they are on the table.
So I've seen a couple of people asking if we will notify you when your canon character is placed somewhere. That is the plan. But again, that we're going to have to put a process in place that will allow for that easy notification, because it's kind of a terrifyingly long list. So that's the plan, but we'll figure that out as we go.
Daniel Isberner, what will the 3 million stretch goal be? I like your enthusiasm, but with 1 hour to go, I think we're going to fall a little short. But
Though I had been thinking in the back of my mind that if we could hit 2.8, it means that we would have beat Jordan's Battletech computer game, and we could lord over him for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that was fun.
Not for competitive or anything.
No, we're not competitive at all.
No.
So I got another question here. That's a pretty interesting one that kind of comes from the production side of things. Will STL files be available to buy for home 3D printing? Hopefully mech parts for customization or terrain. Since the home 3D printing market has gotten pretty big over the last 5 years.
This one is all up my alley. So the answer to that one regarding our mechs, no. Because we do not want to undercut the fact that we're trying to establish an ongoing line that will be supported and supporting brick and mortar stores. With that said, however, we are exploring and have been exploring a variety of projects for terrain, including mech scale structures and other support things, just to help augment the normal gameplay experience. And all of those we have been discussing, actually, either whether to do STL files for sale or whether to make them available so people can just go on and print them as they see fit through an outside print shop like Shapeways or something. So we are exploring a variety of different opportunities. Right now, I've got 2 projects that I'm actively working with developers on to see what we can do with those. They will be terrain elements, yes. Miniatures, no.
Oogplex reaches way back and asks, will the Biotechnology magazine include Hachi's Heroes?
Oh, wow.
As I mentioned in the last AMA, huge fan of the original Battletechnology, as well as all the great stuff that they did in MechForce North American, MechForce UK, MechForce Germany. We will all, Brent, John, and I, and I'm sure Lauren as well, we will all be kind of duking it out to figure how we best can take what made those so ridiculously awesome and put a new modern spin on them. So I imagine that there will be lots of places to go back and dig out some really amazing old Easter eggs and bring them forward.
Andrew B. asks, how will Destiny Mech Combat, MechWarrior Destiny RPG, Mech Combat work without minis and maps? Do we have I'm not sure we have a full answer to that yet?
I think waiting for the beta is the best answer we can say.
Yeah, it's a little complicated, and so I think just waiting for the one thing I can say that's really cool is there is a mech combat that you role play out. But one of the elements that Brent really wanted to see, and as soon as he described it to me, I was all over it. And I think Phil, who's been the primary writer on this project, did a fantastic job in having an entire section of how to take role-playing elements and apply it straight into your tabletop. So for those that want to play the tabletop game, but do in fact want to bring some of the more role-playing elements in, that portion of the book is going to be perfect for you guys. But again, beta is coming in just not that long, and you'll be able to dive in and bang on it all you want.
So Sean S. says, have the victims for the beard off been decided? And for those with beards less than an inch in length, will we see a full head shave to include eyebrows?
Well, to be clear, the text description in the beard off said that the beard off, the shaving of the beard is no longer going to be the stakes. Because really, we did it once and we already beat his team, so I don't want to flog him again. So we are. No, I want to flog him in a different way. So we will be coming up with some cool new set of stakes that we'll be throwing on the table and let everybody know. It'll be run just like it was last time, a wonderful charity event, live streamed, where you guys get to throw on your money and help us out or punish us or whatever you want to do. So that's going to be a couple of months down the line because we got a lot of work to do, and then we got to coordinate all of our crazy schedules. But last time was ridiculously awesome, and I hope this time will be just as fun.
So I just want to put you all in like dunk tanks, you know, like there's like Jordan and Randall and you, and you know, you guys are all in your dunk tanks on one half of the field and the other, and we do an alpha strike rules, and when your mech dies, you get dunked right into the dunk tank.
See, that'd be funny. I'd love that. Okay. Non-Canon Stardrive. So Ein Stempy asked, is there any chance of resurrecting some of the old non-canon Stardrive mechs? Crazily enough, I have several Stardrive issues right next to my battle technology because I'm that much of a pack rat. And once again, I could see some of that happening. If we end up doing kind of a Weird Tales section, that would be a perfect place for some of those just wild, crazy old stuffs to be popped in as a fun Easter egg.
Mark Booth asks, with the success of the Clan Kickstarter, are there plans to launch more clan-themed projects like the delayed TRO Golden Century? I'm going to go on record and say very likely, but I'll let the rest of the people chime in as well.
Yes. Let's just leave it at that.
All right. So, any chance of the Star League as a faction? It was semi-joked about in the last AMA. Is it going to be a
Lauren. I keep trying to push that, and Lauren keeps pushing back. So that's all on Lauren to decide. Do we sneak in one last 31st faction or not?
What's one more SKU?
Yeah. The problem is one more faction is like, I believe, 12 SKUs.
Yeah, you have to pay attention to the details.
So the problem is that it's not that you suddenly get one thing. It's that it is a challenge coin, is a patch,
a lapel pin.
A lapel pin. It is multiple sizes of T-shirts.
8 sizes of T-shirts.
It opens up a whole bunch. I'm still hoping to convince him of that, but just know that that's kind of why the pushback is there. It's not that, you know, he's all curmudgeon-y about that, but it doesn't just one SKU. It throws, 8 SKUs onto the table, and there are so many SKUs we're dealing with already. So
also, I mean, if I add Star League, I have people asking about Northwind Highlanders, Grey Death Legion, mercenary units that probably had more to do with the clan invasion than a Star League had at the beginning. And how do I say no to all? I can't say yes to everything. So I capped it at 30. In fact, I capped it at 28, and a couple more got slipped in behind my back when I wasn't looking. So yeah, we had to draw a line somewhere.
Maris coin. Excellent.
What's that?
Somebody wants an Amaris coin.
Oh man,
I am doing an Amaris coin, but not now.
No. For what it's worth, on the Star League thing, once again, the Star League is a wonderful idea, but there's so many ways that we could do really cool stuff with that I don't want to just throw it in as an add-on we threw in at the end. I would love to see a
John,
item.
Stop opening food.
John. I'd love to see a Star League item for the next Kickstarter.
Or mute yourself.
I mean, there's so many things we could do. Just
will there be further supplements and support for Alpha Strike?
Yes. We'll leave it at that.
So, any chance... Moving on. Any chance for getting a pledge after the Kickstarter ends, so a kind of late pledge? I believe the answer to that is actually yes. We should be able to take late pledges, right, Lauren?
Yeah, once the pledge manager opens, people can go in there and increase their pledge, change their pledge.
No. For those who won't even have access to the pledge manager.
What's that?
For even those who haven't even gotten the $1, and so they won't even get the pledge manager.
I was getting there.
All right.
And on Kickstarter, it will be called, I think, a pre-order at that point. But yes, the people who have not joined in currently can join in with the fun. during the pledge manager period and get a pledge going and add-ons and everything else going on. So as long as the pledge manager is open, we will keep taking more players. We want no player left behind on this. So yeah, absolutely.
So I know this was asked earlier, but this was back when we had less people watching. So we got some new people coming in here asking questions. Will you support shipping to APO and FPO addresses for those in the military? Just to reiterate on it, since I know you answered it earlier.
It was asked and answered, but yes, we will definitely be supporting APO, FPO shipping, and we will make sure that that's being handled as that. I was an FPO shipping address. Those are a pain, but we are going to do it. We'll make sure it gets there.
So I'm going to jump in here because I can't let this one go by. So Chris Lang, the Leviathans Kickstarter that we announced. Yeah, so can't possibly let that one slip by. So thank you for asking. We don't have a definitive date. It will most likely be around summer, though, because we refuse to launch the next Kickstarter, or at least the Leviathans Kickstarter, until you guys have all received Wave 1. So that we can prove that we have delivered, that we're well on our way to fulfilling all of this awesome sauce. And then we're going to dive right into the fantastic Leviathans Kickstarter. So thank you for asking.
Yeah, actually, that dovetails into another question here. When will we reach out about the next Kickstarter? Which I don't want to think about for right now, but
at least for 6 months.
Obviously, we will be looking at another Battletech Kickstarter down the road. We've got Leviathans next year. There may be other things that come up that we're going to want to talk about and look at this for. We will reach out to you, and we will not abuse the privilege. There may be some related Kickstarters. In fact, there may be, for instance, a Battletech fiction-related Kickstarter that's not going to be Catalyst, but would be outside of Catalyst. If we know of cool stuff related to Battletech, Shadowrun, Leviathans, any of our properties that I just forgot to name, that we know about, we of course will let you guys know. We never want you left out. And then you can choose whether or not you want to be part of that other item or not.
Peter asks, will there be more than 2 waves of shipping?
No.
Lauren will pump to death if there is more than 2 waves of shipping.
Did I answer that definitively enough? No.
So Kid Awesome
to be fair, I hate the idea of multiple wave shipping because it does throw another, depending on where you live, anywhere from $10 to $30, $40 in shipping costs on the table for breaking things up into multiple shipments. Now, here's the thing. There was no way most of you were going to get by without having 2 boxes anyway. So whether we sent 2 boxes in wave 1 or 2 boxes split up, it really didn't matter. 2 boxes is 2 boxes. Now, for those who have lower pledge levels, think you can fit it all into 1 box, we are going to work to make sure you can get wave 1 single wave shipping. But in the end, it just didn't make sense to try to cram it all in there a year from now or longer to make sure you get as much as you can get in a reasonable amount of time. So that's why we're doing it this way.
So a little break from all the Kickstarter questions. Is there any chance we'll get both the BT metal dice sets and the SR metal dice set you had at Gen Con on the CGL store?
Yes.
They already are.
No, they're not.
Oh, did we pull them off just because they were out of stock?
No, the Shadowrun one was up there, but
Shadowrun one was Battletech never went up.
But I think Shadowrun was only up there in black.
Correct.
So there's all the Shadowrun colors still to go up, and the Battletech have never been up there that I'm aware of. And yes, both of those are going to be on the website, and I hope to do the Battletech ones in the Pledge Manager as well. So those of you who are already getting shipments can add them into your box without having to do a second shipment.
Okay. Hey guys, Kid Awesome threw in a quick question. He said, "Will we hear from the Homeworlds anytime soon?" I just want to make sure that Kid Awesome that you know, I'm intentionally not answering that question. So the fact that you're hearing nothing but silence on that from us is intentional.
There you go.
All right.
Sorry, Talon. Somebody was asking if there was an ETA on Wave 2. There is not.
No.
This is
we can neither confirm nor deny a clan Homeworld Civil War. Sorry, can't do it.
It's early to be saying when Wave 2 will happen. That'll require several months to go by before we'll have a much better idea of that. So
I believe if really about the time we're getting ready to close the Pledge Manager, which will be about, I'm hoping, 90 days after we open it. So before the Pledge Manager closes, we will have a much better idea of exactly what will be in Wave 1 and a really good idea of about when Wave 2 will be ready to ship. And I want to thank Randall and Brent, who have been working really hard with Anthony Scroggins and his team, with some of our sculptors and that team, to try to accelerate this process. And they've done a lot of work in a short amount of time to where I think we will see a really good resolution to that Wave 2 date. But I want to get at least a few more months in here to make sure we've got the process in place and the pace going to hit what I want to hit. So they're working hard for you guys. They really are.
So, Brian, I got a question for you, too.
Okay, hit me.
Will all character art be digital, or will it be some traditional art like painting or ink, or painter ink?
That's a great question. Our art core works in a variety of different genres, but when it comes to producing 2,000 or more, clearly we're hitting toward 3,000. That stuff's pretty much all going to be digital. Now, pretty much every artist starts out in some way, shape, or form with a sketch, but then they usually scan and then do all the paint overs digitally. And so for the volume and speed that these are going to have to go, I'm pretty sure they're all going to be digital. Now, that, for what it's worth, a lot of those artists will support if, when all is said and done, we send you the art and you love it and you want to reach out to the artist and say, hey, can I get a high quality print on canvas? Many of my artists actually can support that. In fact, I know Anthony Scroggins in particular. He went to Gen Con and I told him hands down, bring a bunch of prints. I think he sold all of the prints that he brought to the show in under 3 hours. So just know that our artists are aware that there's a demand for that, and that when I send you your final art files, you'll know who the artist is, so you know who to connect with personally if you want to thank them.
Okay. Kid Awesome, about how many Dead Tree source books do you expect to be able to produce a year beyond maintaining the core product in the coming years? I'm thinking source books, storyline books. I think it's also an important question because obviously we have a lot of work ahead of us just working out all the swag and minis and stuff we've promised. How many Dead Tree source books, as he puts it, should we expect to get done at the same time moving the universe forward?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
The answer is what I want to see is one main Dead Tree source book in print per year, and then a variety, a much larger number of small supplementary source books that play out specific things. Much like last year when we did Shattered Fortress, and then we co-released right alongside of it two novellas that actually were the full fiction of battles that happen in the source book. That was the beginning of the trial. Ultimately, I would like the playable campaigns to go out alongside of that, but I want to see those go out digitally to support the one main Dead Tree storyline source book per year. That's the plan.
I'm actually hoping to increase that. I would like to see, in a perfect world, no fewer than 2, and probably no more than 4. To support all of our digital efforts, and that doesn't include things like breaking TAC Ops into more bite-sized pieces or republishing some of our books, getting back out there. I'm talking brand new source books.
Right.
I would like to see one at least every 6 months. Now, that may change as we see how popular the new magazine is. The new magazine may give us the ability to get more timely source material out there to keep the timeline moving. So there's a lot going on that may change how we deliver new source material. So stick a pin in that. But yeah, I would like to see no fewer than 2 and probably no more than 4.
Yeah, Lauren's absolutely correct. We've seen a huge expansion in the demand for our PDF products. And then print source books do moderately well to erratic on store shelves. So just finding that right balance is the key.
Miyu Katsuni asks, Irby Funko Pop? Actually, I actually talked to Funko not that long ago, unofficially, unofficially, and their minimums are pretty insane. Not they weren't against talking to us, but their minimums are really crazy. However, I have been championing for, I don't know, 15 years, a similar style of bobblehead, kind of a, big-headed character bobblehead kind of stuff. What Funko basically started with. I still want to do a set of House Leader bobbleheads because I think it would be really amusing to have Hans Davian on my desktop that I can just flick his head whenever I want to. So yeah, who knows what might come in that style, if not that particular brand.
Here's a fun one. Any Evil Jack 13, any chance of new blueprints of mechs in the future? Randall and I were just talking about that in the last 48 hours. Part of our new process for the design work that Anthony's been doing with his team means we have a much greater access to do blueprints. And so we were talking about, should we be trying to do blueprints with every single design we do, or should we be selective about it? So we are absolutely expanding the line of blueprints that we are doing behind the scenes that we'll be able to get out. It won't be for every unit, but yes, you'll see more in the future.
Toolish, book question for the MechWarrior Destiny book. When is the due date, or when is it due out, and will we be able to provide any feedback with the closed beta for errata, etc.? I want to say absolutely. That's the point of our beta.
Absolutely. So it'll be coming out end of August. It may slip into September, but absolutely, everyone who wishes to participate in that closed beta from the backer list will get a month, possibly even 2 full months, to kick it as hard as they can, and then you guys will submit feedback to us, and we will work our way through it and fold in what's appropriate and publish the book next year.
So there we go.
So this might be a Randall question from Nazrak. Will you produce a tutorial vid on the $40 add-on books? Each one says your one-stop shop for everything needed, but there's multiple of them. With 11K backers, some of us are unclear of what's what.
I think a good update in a week or two will be exactly that. So we kind of put one in. This is Battletech PDF. There was a graphic that kind of showed the very beginning part of how to track that, and that's in one of the Dropbox links that we provided. But we can provide a better direction after that of what happens once you get into Total Warfare, Tech Manual, and so on. So I think you'll see a good update that expands on that in the coming weeks.
Tim Piskovich asks wants me to clarify about the final 2.5 million stretch goal. There are 4 legendary mech/mech warriors. You will all get one randomly, one mech/mech warrior randomly from the legendary set as a stretch goal reward, and then all 4 will be collected as a pack, as an add-on in the Pledge Manager. So you will get one for sure. There was no way to say which one, and we really, unfortunately, in order to do this, we had to do a similar number of all 4. So we had to basically do it as a randomized factor. So that's what's going on there. Now, Lead Pipe Studios wants to know, what kind of canon characters do the writers want and or need right off? John, this sounds like right up your alley.
What was the question again?
Thanks for paying attention. What kind of canon characters do the writers want and or need right off?
Well, we'll have to have a conversation about that with the writers first. I'm certainly open to input. But right now, I have to kick it back to Reno and the master spreadsheet. That's really the data we're going to get from that is going to help shape those stories and those mentions, whether it's source book or fiction. So once we get that together and start looking at it, then I'll be working with the writers to assign or have them access to it. It's going to be a two-way street, basically, a two-way process. It's going to go both ways. Sometimes the author will say, hey, I want to write X about. Well, here's the ones you can use for this era. Sometimes I'm going to say, hey, I've got a story here. We need to throw in 5 names here. Let's put them here, 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 and here. So it depends on really what the story's about and where it's set.
Well,
the best way to answer that one. Hold on a second, Lauren.
Go ahead.
Just because I know the stories that are on John's plate, if we were to categorize it, I would say mercenary warriors that are unspecified for what unit or area in the timeline.
True, but I also don't. I would prefer not to get like 1,500 of those. I'm going to be honest about that right now.
Yeah,
so,
I unfortunately
let's not go crazy.
They're asking for something, for some direction here. Let me tell you what's not going to be helpful. Just your average general mech warrior. There's going to be thousands of them, guys. So I'm telling you, when you can add a little bit to it, or when you can step aside and find characters that maybe were mech warriors, like ex-mech warriors or retired mech warriors, I think assassins, special forces, master engineers, bookies on Solaris 7, minor nobility. These are all things writers will look at on a list, and they will pluck them faster than a generic mech warrior. So what are they looking for? They're looking for things that stand out from the normal. Doesn't mean everyone should create, a one-legged, one-eyed, ex-mech warrior who's a martial artist. I'm saying, think about what makes you happy, and if you can find other places in the universe. I mean, some people ask me about, can I be a merchant? Absolutely. Why wouldn't I let you be a merchant? I mean, that's part of the fun. Battletech is so big, you can be anything. In fact, you can be many things during the course of your life. So just pick the one you want to do right now. If you ever get another canon character later, you could be the same character who's in another phase of his life now doing something totally different. So, but look for things that aren't just the standard mercenary mech warrior, active duty, middle grade officer. We're going to have a lot of those. We will be using those, but you're going to be in a lot of competition for those spaces for the next little while.
If your character has a fun quirk, by all means, mention it.
Sure.
Actually, one of our demo team challenged me. Is like, when are we going to see some aerospace fiction? And I'm like, well, I'd be open for it. So we're also looking for pilots.
Yep, pilots, elementals,
wide open,
vehicle, tank drivers.
I would love to see
V2L
more
pilots.
elementals. Yep.
Absolutely. So just remember, the whole universe is wide open on that.
So I've seen this question asked a couple times now. Pilot stats on the pilot cards. I rephrase this. It's not really said. Are there stats on the pilot cards, or are they just fluff?
No, there's stats on the pilot cards along with a special piloting ability. Again, if you have a chance to look at the beginner box set or a game of Armored Combat, those both have pilot cards in them, so you can see exactly what we're talking about. But there will be a little bit of fluff, and then actual stats and an ability to use.
So they will be able to use them to randomly generate pilots for an opposing force then?
Sure.
A couple of quick plastic questions here. Daniel Waugh asks, could the elementals come separate from the bases so we can base them as we want in the positions we want? Probably not, because we've got to basically make them all retail friendly, at least for now. But Randall, is there...
I'll look into that. I would definitely say that it's highly likely that will not be the case, but there's no reason we can't look into it.
Yeah. A similar question. Daniel Isberner asked, any chance you can make miscasts from the factory available as battlefield junk? We've actually talked about doing something like that for fun. Plus, I'm guessing there's going to be, a few thousand tortured urban mechs out there that you'll be able to pick up for cheap. People are going to be melting those things down when they get them.
We will ask. We'll absolutely ask the manufacturer about that. That's a great idea, actually.
Yeah. Bryant Stone, will there be a master color palette established for the dice? I'm going to give this one to Randall again.
I'm not exactly sure what that question is referring to.
That's why I gave it to you.
If you're talking maybe Pantones, then yes, we'll have a kind of a definitive Pantone that we will be trying to assign to it. But hopefully that answers your question.
No one else got one? Zardoz Industries. Are some mechs rarer than others in the salvage boxes? That is not the plan. They will be. We will. If we have like 2 or 3 clan Omnimech stars ready to go, we'll do the same overrun for all of them and then divide them up. That is our plan.
Let's see here. Are you going to sculpt bases so people who are not really talented can buy diversified terrain hex bases?
That's a fascinating idea that I had not.
Yeah.
I like look at their eyes was the same.
Yeah, it was for both of them.
It wouldn't be standard, meaning what comes in the lances that way. But I've done it myself. I've popped them off relatively easy from the base, primarily because I was seeing how strong it was. And having some different terrain bases that you could then just paint or whatever, that's actually a fascinating idea. We will totally have to explore that with the printer and with the manufacturer and see what that.
Especially when they're making a special kind of like a specialized base for a lot of our different plastics because they all stand differently. So it wouldn't be hard necessarily to make some bases modifications.
Yeah, right. That's a
it may be easier than we think, but we'll check.
Right.
Fernando Garcia, please make plastic lambs and aerospace fighters for the next Kickstarter, please.
Lambs.
We'll get to that fight when we get down the road.
And it must be a fight.
So Black Pants Legion asks, who owns the rights to produce a Battletech cartoon? An attempt was made last year and it was hit with a C and D from Topps. Curious as who holds those rights.
Well, I mean, legally, Tornante, which is Michael Eisner's main company, but Topps manages the property for Tornante. I believe I'm getting this right. Or Tornante owns Topps. I think that's the relationship, and we simply manage the brand for Topps. We do not have the right to do so. Topps or Tornante Studios could do it if they wanted to, or authorize someone to do it. It's been brought to them from time to time. Nothing has happened yet. I will keep hoping because I would like to see a new animated or other kind of like, Battletech media feature. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's not us.
So Zaffer4 asks, what's the relationship with Ironwood Metals like nowadays? It's actually fantastic.
Yeah.
We meet them
every show, actually.
Every show, there's giant hugs all around. We hang out. We communicate often with them. They love what we're doing with the plastics because, even with our complaints about all the SKUs and the 94 or 98 some minis that we have, they have like 1,000 SKUs. So the sheer volume of how many different variants and all the craziness, and so they have nothing but spikes in their sales when we are doing well. So yeah, we will never delve down into the craziness of every variant for every mech and so on. So that is for them to still do, and a lot of people get the plastic and love it to death and then run off and grab the metal. So we still have a great relationship with them.
So
and one of the things you're going to continue to see is that we will be taking the designs that the overhauled redesigns that we do, and ultimately turning them over to Ironwood Metals to be able to do variants of those in the premium line for the metals. The only delay on that, just for anyone that's curious, is that they can't take our 3D models and just push print. Theirs have to be cut up into parts that can be assembled. And currently all of the 3D artists that are working on it are either, or that can do that, are either working for us full-time doing these models, or they're working for Ironwind full-time doing the ones that they already had in the pipe. They didn't have anybody available that could actually cut up the ones that we had here. Otherwise, we would have prototypes for you now.
So speaking of being cut up, the question that kind of relates to that is, will the mech parts be glued or fused together for disassembly for reposing?
They are fused together with lasers.
They come fully assembled. Again, if you've seen the minis from the beginner box set or a Game of Armored Combat, they will be exactly like that. A complete single mech you just pull right out of the vacuum tray and start playing with.
Angry Raisin has question for Lauren. 2.75 million stretch goal. You shave your head, get some EI tattoos painted on.
I love it.
I almost want to say I would do it because, I'm looking at the 30 minutes to go and thinking I'm pretty safe. That said, there could be
very dire consequences.
There could be.
I'll back that.
Yeah, but having seen myself with a shaved head in the military, trust me, it's not good. So it would not be a pleasant thing for any of us. So with that said, I'll move over to Sandy BFB. How many cards in the initiative deck, and will they be usable in Alpha Strike? I think it's going to be 24. It's going to be a half deck. I think it would be about right, company on company, for the main game. And usable in Alpha Strike. I don't see why not. If it works, if it's fun, it should be fun for both.
Absolutely. We will try very hard to make sure that it works for both games.
So here's a good one for Randall, I think, from Randall Case again. Have you answered this one already, Randall? Have you guys ever considered doing a worldwide campaign for Battletech like Beasts of War have done for Team Yankee?
Actually,
well, we do worldwide events right
We have done worldwide events, haven't we?
Yeah. Yep.
Last year, and in fact, last year's worldwide event maps are the single highest downloaded item off our site.
Yeah. Now we haven't really done a really big one with with the big storyline pushes like we did one really big one way back. But I would love to see those. Those were fun to watch happen, and let it get determine something in the universe that was real. I would love to see that again. So yes, we do them, and we will hopefully do more of them.
Just to re-answer, since somebody's asking about old source books, print on demand, it just takes a while to prepare them appropriately. But absolutely, the plan is to move back through our entire catalog and rotate them into print on demand, so anyone who wants a physical copy of one of the old books can have it.
Wolfet, I know I got that wrong. Will there be a paper Stranamechi map?
The current plan is no.
Okay, I was going to say the same thing, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be fitting in somewhere.
No, that's going to be one of those. It is the neoprene mat. That's the special.
It's being designed exclusively for pretty much this Kickstarter, and then and it might hang around beyond that. But I don't see now. Will we ever find a place to drop it into a paper pack later?
Maybe.
But
it wasn't necessarily exclusive, but
it'll definitely be well down the line, though.
Yeah. So okay. So there we go. Wild Wabbit. Sorry. So no interest in the database to help players find each other and increase interest in the game. That was back to that database question. I love that idea. Having a database to help players find each other. Right now, we do have a database project in plans to help for a store finder to help you find stores that support and encourage Battletech play and carry our products. Why we couldn't take that into the next level to encourage players to find each other? I love that idea. Now, it's not going to be tomorrow's project, but I think it's an awesome idea. Anyone else see not to do that?
Sounds really good.
So we are. Someone did ask about the Battletech website earlier on. I kind of skipped over it, but this is a good time to talk about it. Yes, we're working on a new look for a Battletech website. Just like you might have seen, we've given Shadowrun a new website lately. We will be looking at doing some new architecture, some new art, and adding things like a retail store finder, maybe a player finder, as well as other ideas. So it is on the desk. It's just working its way up the list at the moment.
So I see one here that says, is MechWarrior Destiny intended as a complete replacement for a Time of War, or is there a chance we might get a Time of War 2nd edition? It is not a replacement. It is a very different style of play. It is a much lighter, quicker style of play. And I've actually been poked from several different quarters about doing a 2nd edition, a Game of Armored Combat, which I still would like to see. No definitive statement on that. But the two, I think, lend themselves to very different players. So I think they both can exist very well with their own set of players.
So, guys, we're skipping a few questions if they've been asked earlier. This whole thing will be online later to watch again on YouTube, and hopefully you go back and watch for things you might have missed. And we are going to try to this time. We're going to try to copy all the questions we didn't get to, so we can get them into an update this weekend or this coming week. We're answering as many as we can. So I just want to make sure you know, if we're skipping your question, it's probably because we asked it earlier, or it may be a little too specific to your case to make it a general question. So
I have an interesting
one with us. We're getting as many as we can.
I have an interesting one, Lauren.
Go.
Brian Sloan asked, the website is currently showing a game of Armored Combat is sold out. Is another production run in process?
We have, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'm racking my brain here, I have a ship coming in that'll be here in, I think, 2 weeks that has roughly 7,000 copies of Armored Combat.
No,
that is a big chunk of the previous print run that got shipped into 2 pieces. Did I get that right, Randall?
No. Beginner box.
So it has
all of a game of Armored Combat.
Right. So it has 1,000 Armored Combat. It does have 1,000 Armored Combat. So there was 7 and 1. So it has 1,000 Armored Combat, which is the very end of the last print run. And we have a few coming back from the convention that will go on our website. So short answer is there are some going up on the website. You will see them come back, a few hundred, I believe, available here very soon, and some more coming in on a boat in a couple weeks. And then we are starting the
fourth
print run?
No, third print run.
Is it third?
Third print. We are starting the third print run right now. It's just been crazy, amazingly cool velocity. So you'll see them on the website, and you'll see them back in stores again as fast as we can get them printed.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, this is a product literally, Game of Armored Combat, it first hit shelves in January, and here we are in August selling out of our third print run. So this is one of those items where we are absolutely committed to keeping this thing in stock, but we've got a hot seller, so we are just continuing to crank them out as we see them go through. And continue to stay on that. As soon as we are watching the forecast for those things going through, we are already looking at pulling the trigger on the next one going. It just takes time to produce and mail across the oceans.
Well, and also that beginner box set that is on its third print run, and if all indications are, we will be blowing through that in another month or two, and be heading into the fourth print of that. So. There's just energy and excitement all across the board, not just here with you guys. We're seeing stores for the first time in a long time saying, "Where's my Battletech? When can I get it back on my store shelf?" And that is a huge kudos to all of you guys that are helping keep this excitement going. So thank you.
And I'll admit that I wasn't hot on pushing for the pulling the trigger immediately until we saw the Kickstarter, so that we knew what kind of numbers we were expecting to print just to fulfill Kickstarter sales.
I've got a couple of good questions here. I want to get out there. How are people pledging with multiple levels? That's really necessary for people who are doing this. You could over-pledge one level right now for the amount of another level, and in the Pledge Manager, you'll be able to select both and have them both sent to you. You'll also be able to basically, in the Pledge Manager, do that as often as you want. So that's how that happens. But here's a good one too. Sandy asked, will the manuals available as add-ons come with a PDF? Yes. I should have put that. We should have put that in the text, and we did not.
We should have put it in there. Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely. If you bought a new manual or one of the new core rulebooks from us, you will get a free PDF with that. So we'll have to work on how that's being delivered, but that is our intention, and we will make that work in some fashion.
So I had a question.
Go ahead.
Was any chances products will be translated in German and or Japanese?
We have a German company, Ulysses, I believe, translates all of our German stuff or what they think will work for the German market. We will, of course, encourage them to do so. We do not currently have a Japanese licensee. There's one we've been talking to, trying to get them interested. They're doing Shadowrun for us. If you know a Japanese company that would be interested, you should point them our way. We would love to have a Japanese translation of Battletech. So,
Here.
Dark Icy. Any chance for a Biotech coloring book? I have been wanting to do that for years. So yes, there's a chance, a very good chance. It's our art department's been a little busy, and it really is an art department thing. I want a children's coloring book, but I also want to do an adult coloring book. So I really want to be able to do both. And we've got maybe half of that now. We could probably figure out, but
yeah, honestly,
I'm pushing Brett for that one.
Convention season next year, it's a total possibility.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and lock that in, saying, Brent, I want a coloring books by convention season of next year.
Done.
Okay. I love that idea.
And when you fold it open, a mech pops up at you.
It's a pop-up book.
And a pop-up.
What is it? The horror books of Mech Assault?
So.
The missile launchers will actually shoot little plastic things out to make you choke on.
And then we'll have to take them back, and then they'll, be worth millions of dollars in a few years.
There you go.
Exactly. What?
Well, if they're unopened.
Wrong.
Yep.
Someone asked, I can't find it now, but I think it was along the lines of, are all the book add-ons soft cover or hard cover?
The actually, I think all of them are hardcover. We only do soft cover on our source books. So, wait. Did we have any TROs in that list? No, we just did roll books.
Yes, Succession War and TRO clan.
So the 2 TROs are soft cover. I believe every other book in that add-on list is a hardcover book.
And then I got another good question as well is, how will you handle delivery for products like the existing box sets and the books, which are on hand? Going through the Pledge Manager is a huge delay for products currently in your stores.
If you want them fast, you should order them. First of all, you should always look in your local game store. If they have them, we always encourage you to go to game stores. If you don't have a local game store, or they're out, or they don't carry it, and you want it now, ordering it from the Catalyst website will get it there faster. If you want it, especially for our overseas friends and fans, if you want them and you want them included in your shipping box, that's why we put the guaranteed no extra shipping value on there. So you can throw them in your Wave 1 or Wave 2 box, and you will not pay extra on the shipping. That's more, putting them in the add-ons was more for the people who don't have the choices that some of us have and want to get a shipment in, but order them one book at a time just sucks. So it gives you multiple options. But yeah, if you want them quick, go a different route, because we will not send these until we send your Wave 1 if you order them as part of the add-ons.
So Black Pants Legion asks, can you guys hire George Ledoux to reprise Duncan Fisher? Something this epic deserves it. I actually know George. We've gotten to know each other somewhat well each time we go to MechCon and hang out. And he's done ratings on some of my short stories, which is fantastic. I would love to get together and do something with him.
Yeah. I believe Black Pants Legion is also the guy doing like the some audio work out there for in the Battletech area. I think his name is Tex, and I've heard nothing but good things about him. And we need to make sure John knows who he is for potentially doing some work with us. And so please, if that's who you are, I'm pretty sure you are, reach out to us. And then David Rossi asks, are you looking for writers? Always. Never have enough writers or enough artists, ever. So if you're wanting to write for Battletech, you should reach out as well.
And if any of you are really good 3D modelers, please send us more information.
Oh my gosh, yes. Please step up. I saw another one here from Andrew B that says, how does CGL stay aligned with HBS MWO MechWarrior 5 continuity?
very carefully.
We do it. Well, first of all, huge shout out both to Russ and the team at Piranha and Jordan and Mitch and the team at Hairbrain Schemes. They just make awesome games that help, put their part of it into all of this. Like, sitting there and playing, when Jordan's game hit, I lost way too many hours. And in fact, just not that long ago, I could see Brent was playing and the cons were talking about the fact that Brent was playing. And I'm like, oh, I want to play, but I got to do some production stuff. And so the fact we these three companies bring such amazing, awesome things to the table is fantastic. I am dying waiting for MechWarrior 5. I can't wait till it comes out. And then hopefully you'll see how we worked on the continuity together. So, I'll just leave it at that.
So yeah, the truth is we all do talk, and we absolutely check in with each other when it comes to continuity, or perhaps looking for regions of space where we can invent new continuity because nothing was ever said about it. So that happens.
Yeah.
So, Lauren, as much as I know I might hate this answer, just because it's more work for me, are there any plans to continue posting YouTube content on this channel?
I have been trying to get a plan together for streaming content regularly, and this is something that we've been always wanting to do, but never had the kick in the butt to get done. This campaign forced us to figure out some things like how to do this. So I'm going to say yes. Now that we've figured this out, I want to keep it going. In fact, I've already told Randall to start working on a script to put up videos on introducing Battletech to new players. What is it? How to play? The kind of things that will help us expand the game. I've already told Talon I want him doing more of these items, not just as part of the ongoing Kickstarter information, which we will be doing anyway, but also to do other ideas for entertainment and a game promotion value. So yeah, I want to see that done. Absolutely. We've got less than 10 minutes, and we're writing this. We are writing this right up to the end of the Kickstarter. So the Kickstarter says we've got 8 minutes to go, and we might hit 2.6, maybe. But we're keeping an eye on it. I have a few more questions here, then we'll do some closing statements and hang out till the end. Greg Allen noticed that Team Bonsai wasn't part of the unit file in the Dropbox. Any chance we'll see more Team Bonsai? That was I believe, an inside joke that probably never should have actually seen print, because I'm pretty sure all those logos were not cool.
Yeah,
I was a big fan. I was a big fan of Team Bonsai, the characters. What we can do with those going forward, I'm really not sure. That may be a can of worms we just can't open. But I do like them as characters. They were very fun. But Randall, anything more about that? I mean, that was a...
Yeah, though we had to kind of scrub them away and ignore them. So the fact that we are here and we are redesigning all of our beloved mechs has, we should all be dancing in the streets and high-fiving each other that after all of these years and all of these battles, we are here. But there may be a few of those much smaller battles that we just have to let go.
So, Randall, this is a question for you, or maybe even Brent. MechWarrior Destiny. Will there be conversion rules for switching between Destiny and a Time of War and back again, so people can play the same character both games?
I don't believe in the book, but I could absolutely see us putting together, a quick little PDF of how to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll be a very short, quick item, because the truth is character creation for Destiny is going to be about 15 minutes long. So, yeah.
Yeah, much lighter and quicker.
Delmar Clark wants to know, can we trade the Urban Mech for a Stone Rhino? Absolutely, just not through our Kickstarter or Pledge Manager.
I'm sure everyone that's ever been assigned to an Urban Mech has wondered that same question too.
Assigned to a Stone Rhino?
Hey, I've seen a lot of people ask about the Stone Rhino. I know it's a popular. It's popular. I was with several people. I've got a few of my own I want to see come out, and we had to push them off the list, like the Sagittarius and a few others. I am looking forward to the time we can go back and open the list up again and get some more of these amazing designs on the list. So, I'm not trying to make fun of you, Delmar. Delmar, but it's obviously the list is closed for now. But I would say Stone Rhino's got a lot of fans out there, and it's gonna make one of the next lists we do.
So Fernando Garcia asked, when can we expect the next digital download for participating in the Kickstarter? Luckily, we have actually been working with John and Phil and have, I think, really been kind of killing it. And we have delivered a lot of the fiction digital content that was promised.
During the campaign, which was not easy. Kickstarter is not friendly when it comes to trying to deliver that stuff during the campaign.
Yeah, and just earlier today, we delivered the first of the scenarios. And then number 6, the final proliferation cycle will go out next week. Nice. So we will continue. You know, just because this is wrapping up doesn't mean that we are suddenly going to stop our communication with you guys. We're going to be continuing content. We're going to be continuing answering questions. We hope to have updates once a week. There's just so much more coming down the pipeline to share with you guys, all the stuff we have to do.
All right.
I'm going to ask a couple questions now while we got some time left.
No. I got one more because it's a really good one.
Go ahead.
It's a good one. Are these products intended for long-term production, or is it going to end up like Alpha Strike boxes where they'll be in production for a year and then the supply will drop off?
Supply dropped off after a year?
These are going to be these mechs and mech packs are going to be around for a while. This is designed to take us through the next, like, I would say 2 to 4 years of Battletech production. They'll be our next 2 to 4 years of our plan for Battletech. Now, a year from now, do we want to do more of these? Almost certainly. But let's get through these first. But they are going to be around for a while. So I'm going to ask a couple quick questions while we've got time. From the team here, what was your favorite moment? Not like in general, your favorite moment from this campaign. And we'll start with Talon.
Sorry, I was answering questions in the text. What was that question?
Your favorite moment from the Kickstarter. Specific moment.
Ooh, favorite moment of the Kickstarter. I think, and this is in the back end of the Kickstarter, not the front end. It was when we were discussing, I think, the 2 million stretch goal, where we sat down, we were on Skype. It was like an hour in. It was super late, and we were all tired. And we're like, what are we going to do next? And I can't remember who it was. Someone was like, Urban Mech plushie? And someone was like, do you guys really want to do that? And everyone went, yes. Even though we know that it's probably a bad idea or a good idea, everyone was like, you know what? We're dumb. Let's do
All hail the Urban Mech.
All hail the Urban Mech.
John, favorite moment?
7th minute of the Kickstarter. I mean, when you guys, and then I tuned in about at 100K in the first hour and just watching that number grow and grow and grow. But really, that 7th minute, I got to be honest, we were wondering what the reaction was going to be, and the fans, you guys all came out and just obliterated it, and that was so gratifying to see. So yeah.
Right.
There was this moment right as you get ebbs and flows in people joining in, and you always question like how many of the fans are still out there and active and whatnot. There was this moment when we crossed over 4,000 backers where I just realized this is so wonderful. This is 4,000 of our fans that are willing to drop at least $200 a pop because they love the game so much, then they want to keep playing it. And we now actually know who they are and can email them if we need anything and can talk to them back and forth and engage them actively in the development moving forward. There was just something magical about watching the backer number go up. I know everybody was zeroing in on dollars, but man, I saw 4,000 backers. I was like, yes.
Randall.
It was actually, first of all, we are now down to seconds to go.
Yep.
We're like 90 seconds.
90 seconds.
So for me, it actually was right as it was launching. So we were up till about 2 or 3 in the morning the night before it launched. And we were so slap happy and so tired, and there was so much to do. Like, I think I mentioned this previously. the video, the really cool video at the front, didn't even come in until 11 o'clock that night.
Oh yeah,
So,
I forgot about that.
Up until then, I was totally terrified. We're going to launch, and we're not even going to have a video. So then I couldn't even sleep. I was up again at like 5:30 in the morning, working away all the way till 10. And then the dropship took off. And then it was like 18 straight hours of Brent and Talon and Lauren and I all shared on Skyping, constantly hitting Dak up for new graphics, just trying to keep up with you guys.
Oh, poor Dak. Poor Dak.
Poor Dak.
We sprinted to the bathroom 2 or 3 times, but it was 8.
TMI, Randall, TMI.
Exactly. It was 18 straight hours of trying to keep up with how amazing you guys were and just blown away. I've been doing this for over 20 years.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Magical moments ever. 7, 6,
5,
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. It is over. Hey, there's actually like little animations going on off of
and
it
there's
right now.
actually confetti. Boom! Confetti on the main
It's
page.
like a little confetti. Oh, and it swapped over.
I get a hit.
Hey, look!
Fish.
It's funded.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Oh, it funded.
Phew, I was worried. I gotta admit, I was a little concerned.
All right, so
thank you so much, everybody.
My favorite moment was a twofer. It was, we were joking on that big run of stretch goals, and someone made fun of Randall not finishing his Clan trilogy novel.
Oh, right.
I put it in the stretch goals without telling Randall, and I think he actually called me a bad name when he saw it in there, which he doesn't do very often. So that was like my second favorite moment, because Randall got his revenge not that far later. He's working on it.
Right there.
Ooh, there it is. There it
Randall got
is.
his revenge.
Total old school.
Randall got his revenge by putting me and Mike Stackpole on a project together to do the Wolf origin story. And I got to admit, it was extremely exciting thinking about working with Mike to tell a story that's going to be amazingly convoluted and fun, and I'm looking forward to it a lot. So that was kind of my favorite moments that just stood out in my head still. How many 4 weeks later that we did that. So, guys,
thank you all so much.
This is super awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
to be honest, I'm actually hoping that we can do little Q&As, or AMAs, obviously not 2 hours long, but I'm hoping once a month, even outside of other digital content that we may have. I would love to continue to do these, hour-long AMAs once a month. This has been an absolute blast. We love acting with you guys. Absolutely want to keep this going.
Yeah. Brett, final words? That was good. Thank you, Randall. Brett, final words.
Thus shall it stand until we all shall fall.
John, final words.
11,233 backers pledged $2,586,106.54 to help bring this project to life.
Nice.
Thank you all. Thank you,
everybody.
everybody.
Final words from me. That's a lot of videos in my future.
Guys, thank you for being here with us at the end. How many people do we have here, by the way?
We currently have 460 people watching right now and asking questions.
That's amazing.
We will get Talon. Make sure we copy the questions. We did not copy that stupid thing out of the window this time, so we can try to get to the last question we didn't get to in some updates coming out here.
All right.
But I don't want to forget that. Guys, thank you for being part of this Kickstarter. Thank you for being here tonight to be part of this live stream right up to the end of the campaign. We could not have done this, and we could not do this without you, and we wouldn't want to. This is what makes it fun, and we enjoy hanging out with you guys, and we enjoy this universe so much. So until next time, Mech Warriors, keep the battlefield. Take the battlefield. Storm the line. Take no prisoners. And whatever you do,
I got you, Brett.
Thank you. Really?
Nice.
Oh, he doubled up
Oh
on
my
it.
God, Rock'em Sock'em Battle Mechs. Oh my God, I want to make that happen. That would be so awesome.
And on that note, guys, thank you again.
Thank you,
everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Thank you, everyone.